Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I made this video for my final semester assignment, and then I want to explain my mapping. This meeting 11 talk about acquisition. First is acquisition is language acquisition is the process by which humans acquire the capacity to perceive, produce, and use words to understand and communicate. It involves the picking up of deserved capacities including syntax, phonetic, and extensive vocabulary. However, learning a first language is something that every normal child does successfully without much need for formal lesson. Language development is a complex and unique human quality, but yet children seem to acquire language at a very rapid rate, with most children's speech being relatively grammatical by age 3. Grammar, which is a set of mental rules that characterize all of the sentence of a language. And then number 2, what theory of language acquisition? The most well-known theory about language acquisition is the nativist theory, which suggests that we are born with something in our genes that allows us to learn language. It proposes that there is a theoretical language acquisition device, or LAD, somewhere in our brains that is responsible for learning a language the same way the hypothalamus is responsible for maintaining your body temperature. If language was partly biological, it could explain why humans seems to have far more complicated communication pattern than any other species. The learning theory of language acquisition suggests that children learn a language much like they learn to tie their shoes or how to count, through repetition and reinforcement. When babies first learn to babble, parents and guardians smile, coo, and hug them for this behavior. Third, explain what universal grammar. In 1960, linguistics became interested in a new theory about grammar, or the law of language. The theory was popularized by American linguist named Noam Chomsky, who often focused on the effortless language learning of young children. Chomsky didn't believe that exposure to a language was enough for a young child to become efficient at understanding and producing a language. He believed that humans are born with an innate ability to learn language. According to Chomsky theory, the basic structures of language are already encoded in the human brain at the birth. This universal grammar theory suggests that every language has some of the same laws. For example, every language has a way to ask a question or something negative. In addition, every language has a way to identify gender or show that something happened in the past or present. Next is what competence factor. Competence factor is the system of unconscious knowledge that one knows when they know a language. It is distinguished from linguistic performance, which includes all other factors that allow one to use one's language in practice. And next, performance factor. Psychological or performance factor that enable or inhibit the acquisition of language, both in individual and across species. Psychological difference in the use of language, including difference between groups, elements of language such as phonology, morphology, and grammar. Next is lexical principle. According to Anna Goy, during the last decade or some more and more philosophers, linguistics, psychologists, and computer science have become confident that no complete account of our competence in the domain of word meaning can be given without a link between language and perception. Moreover, it has been claimed that the boundary between lexical and encyclopedic knowledge is not clear-cut. The way we use, practice, and conceptualize objectives is part of kind of knowledge that not only belongs to our lexical competence, but is precisely what allows us to know the meanings of words and use them correctly. And next, uniqueness principle is a periodic trend which is observed in the periodic table where the chemistry of a second row elements are different from the chemistry of element their respective group. And the last one is the generalization principle requires that the reason for your action be consistent with the assumption that everyone with the same reason act the same way. The reason for the action are not psychological cause or motivation, but the reason that you consciously take to justify taking the action. Thank you.